Hello, everybody. This is Professor Dr. Wolfgang Georg Alt. I'm the CEO of COTRI, China Outbound Tourism Research Institute, and I'm reading to you now the COTRI Weekly editorial of the 13th of April, 2021, with the headline, Mourning and Hope in the Commonwealth, Contemplation in the Muslim World. Well, for once, the news last week were dominated by somebody dying from something else than the COVID-19 infection. Prince Philip, a tireless traveler around the world for many decades, passed away shortly before reaching his 100th birthday. The husband of Queen Elizabeth II, who still rules over 16 of the Commonwealth countries in the world, at least in name, was praised, among other things, as a very early example of a man of royal ancestry to boot, serving the career of his wife and giving up for this his own name, religion, nationality, and his ambitions as an officer in the process. Your humble editor vividly remembers his single encounter with a couple a decade ago in Scotland. After I had visited the Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh, I was told that the royals would drive through the gates of the Palace of Holyrood House, which is the seat of the British royals in Edinburgh, and which is just opposite the Parliament building, in just a few minutes. With actually more policemen than spectators around, it was easy to get a place in the front row and to get a good look when the limousine carrying the royal couple stopped less than a meter away from me, having to wait shortly for the gates to the castle to open. The Queen and Prince Consort looked eerily exactly similar to their likeness on the many cups and plates in the souvenir shop of the castle. The hair, the smile, the posture, so perfect in the afternoon of a day full of tiring duties, that it made you wonder if these were holograms, avatars, or actual people. Well, tourism is a lot about pretending and acceptance of pretension. These were perfect examples of how to become what you pretend to be. With the period of mourning just beginning, it is of course too early to speak about it, so I hope you forgive me, but the burning question now all over the Commonwealth certainly is, will she get married again? Saying so, actually, in the mind of some important parts of the Commonwealth, people have been preoccupied and are still preoccupied with more positive developments. Australia and New Zealand have agreed to restart after a pause of 13 months on April 19th, in the coming week, quarantine-free international travel between the two countries. For both, the neighbor is the biggest tourism source market after China. So this should be the first substantial number of airborne border crossings developing again, and a sign of hope for the whole tourism industry, constituting the beginning of the post-pandemic period of global tourism. The Chinese outbound tourism market has been and will be again the biggest international tourism source market in terms of trips as well as in terms of spending. However, for the travelers constituting the second biggest source market, today is a special day. Ramadan is starting for 1.8 billion Muslims. Muslim travelers engaging in what's called halal tourism spent altogether almost as much as the Chinese, at least that was the case in the year 2019, for international travel. The month of Ramadan is, of course, not meant to be the time for unnecessary travel, but when it ends, the hope, I'm quite sure, of many Muslims is also that by that time, the opportunities to travel will have increased again. Therefore, this week we end with condolences as well as with best wishes, as usual, to all our readers from myself and the whole COTRI Weekly team. Thank you very much.